I want to start with some of the grandstanding we saw yesterday, but I say that it's two-part. It's Matt Gaetz, Florida congressman. I thought he was very effective as well. He also had props. Take a look.
You said yesterday that you weren't going to resign when senators asked you this question, and I believe that you guys probably won't resign. You seem to be very happy failing up over there. But if we didn't have a president that was so addled, you all would be fired, because that is what you deserve. You have let down the people who wear the uniform in my district and all around this country, and you're far more interested in what your perception is and how people think about you.
Mercedes Schlapp, I'm wondering what you make of that. I really thought that he was effective. The congressman, he walked the line there, calling the president addled. But I thought the basic premise of what he was saying was pretty accurate.
Right. And I think this is a call from a number of Republicans for General Milley to resign because of the politicalization of his role. And it's disgraceful when you are seeing the general leaking information to Bob Woodward. I mean, come on. We know that the Bob Woodward books, they're juicy reads. They're like the best version of, gossipy Washington swampy stories. And to be able for the general to get away with this, I think is just so outrageous. So, I commend Congressman Gaetz and also all the other congressmen. Congressman Jim Banks was also very strong. In fact, he told me that he bought a copy of the book and was reading it. And I said, look, the Schlapps aren't going to buy a copy of the book. Just hand it over to us so we can at least take a glance at it, because I don't want to, spend money on peril.
No, I agree. I'm not going to enrich Bob Woodward. John Fund, curious what you made of the congressman's comments there, and just the fact that Milley McKenzie and even Lloyd Austin, they all think they're there to talk about how maybe the president didn't take their advice to keep troops in Afghanistan. And this is not about withdrawing from Afghanistan. Everybody, including President Trump, wanted that to happen. It's the way in which it was done. That's why you're there in that setting testifying before the House and Senate.
Rob, what Biden did in Afghanistan was a tragedy and a disaster. But let's have a reality check. There was a president who appointed General Milley to the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and he appointed him even though he barely knew him and he hadn't checked out his background. That was President Donald Trump. I know from my sources that Milley campaigned for that job because he became the Rex Tillerson of the Trump administration. Trump thought he looked like a general, he acted like a general, so he appointed him. It was one of the most disastrous appointments President Trump made. Obviously, he should resign, but we have to remember it was President Trump who appointed him. Yeah.
Went to Princeton, never went to a military academy. He's got an interesting past. T.W. Shannon, it's good to have you on. I'm curious what you make of this. This is Congressman from Louisiana, Mike Johnson, was asking Lloyd Austin about the president and the advice that the president was clearly given to keep troops in Afghanistan while you take civilians out and then withdraw all the troops. Interesting interaction. Let's take a look, then we'll get some reaction.
Mr. Secretary, I understand all that. What we're trying to get to is, what did the president know? Did he forget what was told to him, or is he not being truthful?
I view that as an inappropriate question, and I won't.
Well, you may, but the American people don't.
All right, so TW, I flagged that just because, don't forget, if you lie to Congress, that's perjury. Was Lloyd Austin, did he say that deliberately because he didn't want to perjure himself?
Yeah, I think that's exactly why I said it, Rob. I mean, these are generals. They understand the rule of law, if nothing else. And so while they certainly have been complicit in a lot of what happened and frankly authorized a lot of what happened in Afghanistan, it lies at the feet of Joe Biden. Because remember, it's Joe Biden who wants to take credit for ending the war in Afghanistan, but he won't man up and own that he overruled the military on how it should be done. But these military officers, at the end of the day, they're in charge of how we move troops around, how we evade our enemy, how we attack our enemy, and they allow it to happen under their watch, and they should be held accountable. And unfortunately, they won't. And the idea that Secretary Austin won't even answer a question from a member of Congress, I mean, I think it just shows the arrogance of this administration. But at the end of the day, the American people are watching, and that's exactly the question we want to have. Did Joe Biden lie to us?
Right.
Or did he just forget because of his declining health. And then the White House has been unwilling to answer either one of those.
Well, he lied. He lied about the Afghan army. He lied about asking the Afghan president to lie. He lied about what the generals told him to do. He lied about bringing every American back before August 31st. Those were all lies by the president of the United States. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.